Handle with Care by the Traveling Wilburys, an excellent strum and sing-alonger from 1988. We have some good old favourite open chords, a couple of slash chords and a tasty G augmented. There's an electric guitar line that runs throughout the song that we're going to take part of and create an intro from. I'll look at that later on. The chords we need for the entire song today: D, D/C, G/B, G. I'll also be playing this variation of the G with these fingers for the middle section, which I'll explain when we arrive to it. We have an E minor, a C, and a G augmented over B. We're going to start with the rhythm that covers the verses and the middle section. We'll start with a muted variation so we can get the hang of it and then introduce the chords. Lay your fingers lightly across the strings so we can get the muted click chuck sound. We have a 2-bar rhythm in 4/4 which plays down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. We'll start with the strum of the intro chords. So we have D, D over C, G over B and G. And there are 2 chords per bar. So for the first bar, we play D, then D over C, then G over B, and on the next up we push into the G chord. We played that 4-chord sequence twice for the intro. This takes us into the verse where we continue that chord sequence another 2 times round. We then play C, G, E minor, C, D and G. 2, 3, 4. D, D over C, G over B, G. Again, B, D over C, G over B, G. We then go to the C for a full bar. Down, down, up. Go to G. Down, down. Change to E minor. Up, up, down, up. C, D. And on our last bar of G in this section, we play 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and up, down, down. We have 2 verses in this part of the song. Verse 1 is exactly the chords that we've just played through. Verse 2 ends slightly differently. 2, 3, 4. Verse 2. Now looking at the pre-chorus, we have the same strumming pattern with some slightly different chords. I'm so tired of being lonely. And the chords we have for this section are G. I am using this variation with these fingers. So middle finger 2nd fret A, 3rd finger 3rd fret on the E string, and pinky 3rd fret on the high E string. Because the chord that follows is the G augmented. It sits on a B bass. So we're going from this shape here to this shape here. So 3rd finger comes off and we add middle finger to the 2nd fret A string and 1st finger to the 1st fret D. The rest of the strings are open and the pinky still sits on the high E string. So we go in G chords, G augmented of a B, then we have a C, then we have a D. That chord sequence plays 3 times round, then we end the middle section on 2 bars of G. Playing that through for you now, slightly slower than the song, using the same rhythm as previously. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. G, augmented, C, D. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 2 bars on G. 1, 2, 3, 4, and. Now looking at the chorus, we have a slightly different strumming pattern. Our chorus changes rhythm to a down-up rhythm. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. But how they accent this to give it a bit of momentum is that they accent the 2nd beat and the 4th beat. So we end up with 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. The way that I like to do this is to play the low strings on the 1 and, accent the high strings, just play the high strings on the 2, back to the low for the 2 ands, stay on the low strings for 3 and then high strings for 4, back up to the low strings for 4 and. So using the chords for this section, I'll demonstrate the chorus for you. We have C, G, C, D. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Song structure wise, we have an intro, verse 1, verse 2, pre-chorus, chorus. We have a 3rd verse, a short instrumental section, another verse, chorus. Then we have a verse and instrumental sections and solos to end. Now playing through the intro, verses, pre-chorus and chorus of the strumming only version, so you can see how that fits together. 2, 3, 4. Reputation's changeable. Baby, you're adorable. I'm so tired of being lonely. Everybody needs somebody to lean on. A dreamer. Spicing up our intro now with parts of the electric guitar motif that run throughout the song. A little slower. We take the chord progression from the intro, the D, D/C, G/B and G, and create this line that runs parallel with it. So we have our fingers in the D position on the chord hand, only really on the two strings, the G and the B. So index finger 2nd fret G and 3rd finger 3rd fret D, because we're going to take our middle finger and jump it up to the A string when we need it. We down pick in a rake fashion, drag that pick or thumb across the strings, D, G, B strings. We then up pick on G, down pick on B, up pick on G. We bring our middle finger fret and hand to the 3rd fret A, pick the A string, come back down, strum either the D, G, B or the G and B strings, and then come back up to strum the A string again. And if you notice that whole time, all of those strings are ringing out continuously. So once I've left them, I'm not touching them again. We want to create the feeling that the chord's ringing out. We then move to the 2nd fret of the A string with the index finger, take the middle finger off. This takes us into the G/B chord. So we pick the A string and pick the G and B strings, letting those all ring out. We then bring our middle finger up to the 3rd fret of the low E string. We play 3rd fret E string, then we play open A, then with the index finger, 2nd fret A, middle finger, 3rd fret A. So putting that together, D, D over C, G over B, G. Again, D, D over C, G over B, G. Counting along with that, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. I'll put that together to take you into the first verse so you can hear how that works together. 2, 3, 4. In this lesson, I show you how to play California Dreamin' by the Mamas and Papas with an awesome intro riff and some nice open strumming chords. I'll see you next time.